So there's the psycho side of it. But as a rational person who likes to see both sides of the argument, I would also argue it is interesting that it seems the only influence over the American government that we're not scared about or we don't measure is the Israeli influence of the American government. It seems they do have some control over the American government. They do lobby heavily, and nobody talks about it in a negative way. Whereas if the Chinese do it or the Russian do it, there seems to be a big problem. It doesn't seem to be measured when Israel does it, and nobody seems to be concerned by it. I would argue as a rational, intelligent individual that the American government should be pertinently aware of all influences that are put on it. Shouldn't you measure them? I'm not saying even stop them, but shouldn't you know? Because let me ask another question. This is a thought experiment. If you allow a nation to influence your nation and you allow it to happen unchecked, who's influencing the influencer? I don't know this at all. This is off the top of my head. Who says Israel's not being influenced by China, Russia, whoever? What I'm saying is they can be a conduit if you allow it to be unchecked. So I understand that Israel seems to be the only country that can influence American politics without being checked. I understand that. I understand that's strange. I agree that should be measured. That's true. However, to argue that the Jews are the only reason why you're a little bitch hiding in your house at home, that's also bullshit. There's definitely a lot of irrationality on both sides. That's what I would say about that whole subject. And I think that people should be more rational and approach it rationally. But that subject seems to get people instantly into black and white camps. And those are the subjects that are hardest to discuss.
I love the breakdown.
Where there's no subjectivity.
That's the part of the breakdown. See, this is, because in this breakdown, the way you just eloquently put together, guess who can be right? Both sides.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, Trump did this, and he's owned. He's this. Maybe he's just being strategic.
Yeah.
No, but that side, they have control of everybody. Maybe they do have a little bit. No, they don't. Maybe they do. That's the subjectivity. The keyword you're using here is that. We have to be able to do that more often. It was broken down so well the way you just did it right now. I don't mean to interrupt you. I just was really...
Thank you. But this is the interesting part, because there are certain subjects where it is instantly snapping to black and white camps.
Right.
And those are the problems that never get fixed. Those are the problems that never get fixed. There has to be subjectivity and discussion in all things. And both sides can have a point. And it has to be discussed at large.